Welcome to the JTJ Show. I'm Jeremiah Jett, and today I have a very special guest with me here today, Attorney General Josh Stein. How long have you been in this position?
Sure, Jeremiah. I'm Josh Stein. I'm the Attorney General of North Carolina, have been for the past 7 years or so. Grew up first in Charlotte, and I did my K through 12 in Chapel Hill. And I've lived in Raleigh about 28 years now, 30 years almost. I'm married, and my wife and I, we have 3 kids, and they all went to North Carolina Public Schools just like she and I did.
Before we continue with our interview, I want to first thank you for inviting me to the Entrepreneurship Roundtable. Being that I was the youngest person there, it was very insightful and I learned a lot.
Well, that's awesome. I really appreciated your participating in it. It was a great roundtable of small business owners of all types, real estate, entertainment, all kinds of retail, and hearing what issues that small businesses are focusing on and how they can continue to grow and thrive and what the state of North Carolina can do to help them. Of course, as you know, Jeremiah, I'm running for governor next year. And the job of governor is a little different and it's bigger than the job of attorney general. And so it helps me to travel the state and meet with people like you and others who can share their perspective so that when I win this thing, which I think I will, I'm ready to go and able to actually serve the people of North Carolina to the best of my abilities.
I learned a lot at the Entrepreneurship Roundtable that I'm definitely going to implement into the new cool. But let's get into my first question. I'm 16, and I haven't seen an effective movement like the Civil Rights Movement as of now. And in the New Cool Movement, we believe that love should be that next movement. We believe that love will be the thing that brings all races together and provide us unity and allow us to become one. So as the Attorney General, what do you believe the next movement should be and why?
I really appreciate the question, and I appreciate what really undergirds the New Cool movement. We're so different as people, but we share so much more that's in common. And we've got to focus on what we share in common and what we can do to come together to build a better future so that everybody can succeed. And I really am impressed with the work that you're doing with the New Cool movement and the philosophy that undergirds it. I mean, you look at what's going on in politics in the United States right now, and it's a mess. Everything's division, everything's hate, everything's nasty, everything's grievance. And it doesn't need to be that way. And we're at a crossroads here in North Carolina, and I'm all about progress and moving the state forward. But there are others who want to drag us backwards, to separate us, to divide us. We have to come together, not tear each other apart. We have to solve real problems, not create fake issues. And we have to serve all North Carolinians, not just a select few. That's what my campaign for governor is all about. And in order for us to win this thing, we have to build a multiracial, multi-generational, multicultural campaign to win and then to effectively govern. And that's what I want to do.
Thank you for answering my personal question. But for this next question, would you mind taking off your political hat and speak from the heart? What are your plans to make our underserved communities better and safer?
Again, it all starts with opportunity. And the number one important thing we can do as a state is make sure that our public schools are properly serving all people from pre-kindergarten, early childhood education through K-12 and on to community college or college, including our HBCUs. You know, whatever path a person wants to choose, they should be able to succeed, whether that's getting a good paying job or starting a small business. And the state can help folks. And we have to also make sure that folks don't feel like there's only one path to success. Not everybody should have to go to college in order to have a life that brings them joy and that allows them to provide for their families. So having that strong community college system is really important. Having career technical education in our high schools is important. Having apprenticeship programs at our community colleges is important. There are a lot of things we can do to help people succeed. It's both education, but it's also economic opportunity, workforce development, and ensuring that we as a state can compete success well into the future. But we also have to make sure that people can get good health care, that they can afford to live in the communities that they want to work in, that their neighborhoods are safe. There are lots of things that we can do to create conditions for people to succeed and to provide for their families.
I do agree. We all deserve equality and a fair chance to provide for our families. Now, I can imagine this is an extremely stressful job. Being a politician in general is extremely stressful. Do you have any scriptures or quotes that gives you the strength to keep pushing forward?
I actually have a couple verses. I'm glad you asked that question. They both deal with justice. That's what fundamentally has driven me as a public official is I want to pursue justice. And that's a value I learned from my father. My father, Adam, joined Julius Chambers and James Ferguson in Charlotte in the mid-1960s to form North Carolina's first integrated law firm. And they won path-breaking civil rights victories in our nation's struggle against discrimination and for equality. And they would not stop from doing the right thing, not even when someone firebombed their law office and burned it to the ground. So I learned early on that some things are worth fighting for, no matter how tough things are. And that is how I've tried to serve as Attorney General. So I've been inspired both by my family, but also by my faith. And I would say the two verses I draw upon, one is from Micah and the other is from Amos. Do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with your God. And let justice roll down like water and righteousness as a mighty stream. It's all about recognizing that in order to properly serve God, we have to also serve the communities we live in. Faith without works is meaningless, and you have to do both. You have to have faith, but you also have to serve others.
For my next question, what motivated you to run for governor?
I mentioned that I've been inspired both by my family and by my faith, but it all comes down to trying to fight for other people and help other people succeed in their lives however they want to live their lives. And I've done a good job doing that as Attorney General, whether it's taking on big drug companies that are addicting people to prescription opioids, whether it's taking on e-cigarette manufacturers that are targeting young people and addicting them to that, taking on big polluters that have poisoned people's drinking water, or taking on the Trump administration to defend people's right to health care with the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, defending people's right to vote. The Republican General Assembly is making it harder for people to vote, and they are discriminating against voters based on their political beliefs through partisan gerrymandering. And I've been taking on all these fights, and we've been delivering for the people of North Carolina. And I think I can succeed and do the exact same thing as governor, to take on big fights for people and make sure that folks have as much economic opportunity as they want, that our schools serve our people, that our neighborhoods and communities are safe. These are the reasons why I want to serve as governor.
For my last question, what do you want people to remember most about Josh Stein, the man, the husband, and the father?
Well, you just hit the nail right on the head. I'm a man. I'm a husband who is blessed to have a wonderful wife. I'm a father of 3 wonderful children. My wife and I are both from North Carolina. We both love North Carolina. We both grew up here. We've raised our 3 kids here. And what I pray is that my kids and grandkids and the listeners to your show, their kids and grandkids, and you and all your friends, what we want is for you to be able to make your life here in North Carolina as well, and to grow to love this state with the same passion and intensity that I do, and I'm sure that your dad does, and mom, and we want you to succeed. And that's why I'm running for governor. I want this state to mean as much to you and to provide you as much opportunity as it has for me.
You sound like a very good man. I want to thank you for hanging out with us.
Jeremiah, take care. Appreciate you.
That was the JTJ Show. I'm Jeremiah Jett, the president of the New Cool Movement. And make sure you guys go out there and vote. And also, if you have any questions about New Cool Movement, you can email us at newcoolmovement@gmail.com, or you can check out our website and find out all about us at nextlevelofthetriad.org. See you next time.